Hi, I'm Malcolm.
And I'm Rachel. We're two Canadians living on our 39-foot mainship trawler, living an adventure of a lifetime. We invite you to follow along as we travel 6,000 miles through Canadian and U.S. waterways around America's Great Loop. Good morning. We're coming today from Shore Point Marina in Toms River, which is in the New Jersey ICW. And we've been here for 2 nights. We decided to stay here an extra night simply because we were waiting for the right weather window to do our journey out into the Atlantic Ocean up towards New York City. And today we're looking at about a 7:30 or 7:45 a.m. departure, because we're going to head up to Point Pleasant Canal, which takes us up to the Manasquan Inlet. And both of these you need to go through at the right tide and not to be against the current. So we're timing it to ride a little bit of current up the canal and out the inlet, and then around to the Atlantic Ocean and up straight up north up towards Sandy Point. And we're going to head up to Great Kills Harbor. There's a few marinas in there. We're going to the yacht club there where a lot of loopers go. We're going to stay there one night, and then the next day we're going to head into New York City. So today's journey will be approximately, I think it's 6 hours. I'll put the stats at the end. And it should be a good journey today. We will have some waves out in the Atlantic Ocean, I think about 2 foot swell, possibly on the beam. But it's not for very long. That part will be only about 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours max. So we're willing to put up with that because the conditions going forwards for the next week are much worse. So 2 foot waves don't sound too bad after everything we've been through. So we're just getting ready, just going over and having our showers at the marina here, enjoying some time outside, listening to the birds. You can hear them behind me here. And the sun is coming up, so it's a really pleasant day today. And we do notice as we go farther north, the days are getting longer. The sun is rising earlier and the sun is setting later. So that's great for travel days. It means we have extra time at either end. Anyway, we'll get the boat sorted out and get a little breakfast before we go. I'm probably going to take a little gravel just in case the waves are just a little choppy for me. And other than that, we're all set to go, and we'll see you out on the water. Hope you're having a great day. The Point Pleasant Canal was completed in 1925 to connect the Manasquan River with Bay Head Harbor on the northern end of Barnegat Bay. The 2-mile canal is part of the Intra-coastal waterway. This canal is long, deep, and narrow, making the currents very strong. It's best to time travel through the canal to go with the current, which can be as much as 2.5 to 3 knots. The Manasquan Inlet is a safe, relatively deep, and easy-to-navigate inlet located at mile 0 of the New Jersey Intracoastal Waterway, about 13 miles from the northeast of Toms River. As with any inlet, it's best to time the tides and maintain a decent speed to keep above any breaking waves. We've been out in the Atlantic Ocean for over 2 hours now, just coming along the coast, headed north, of course, and conditions are actually really good. We've been driving from down below since we came out of the inlet, and the inlet itself was pretty rough, but after we got out it was fine, just a few rollers, and it's smoothing out a little bit as we go farther north. So now that we've been out here for a little while, we're beginning to see the skyline of New York City up ahead, and it's surprisingly clear, and it's obviously easier to see because there's a lot of very tall towers there. So conditions have been really good. The sun is trying to come out. It's sort of semi-cloudy, but or sort of hazy, I guess. And the sun is coming out. It's really warm, and there's quite a few fishing boats out, and we can hear people calling saying that they may be spotting a whale here and there. So we're keeping our eyes out for that. Haven't seen any yet. They may be farther out from here, but it would be really neat if we could see a whale on this trip. Around Sandy Hook, we can really see the skyline of New York City well now, and the wind has got up quite a lot. It seems to be coming from the northwest, so it's sort of off the beach, but we're getting a lot of spray on the windows. We're going to have to clean that off when we get into the harbor. And we're headed to Great Kills Harbor today, not right into New York City just yet. We'll be doing that tomorrow, but we're going to a harbor nearby where a lot of loopers are staging to go to New York City. At our destination at Great Kills Yacht Club in the Great Kills Harbor. We had a really good trip today. We went out into the Atlantic Ocean, I think, for the last time on Stay Cool.
Yes.
Yay! And so it was a good day, and we didn't actually see any whales, but it was a good day to be out. We got to the inlet at the right time, and it was kind of choppy and wavy going out, but it was fine once we got through those waves. We went 46 nautical miles in about 6.5 hours.
Yeah.
And as we came into the harbor, we saw a few things on the way, but as we came into the harbor or approaching the harbor, you got a call on the radio.
I did.
On the VHF radio.
Yes, I did. And actually, I missed the first call because I really wasn't expecting it. And then I thought, that sounded like the Coast Guard. So sure enough, they called me a second time and said all sorts of questions. They asked all sorts of questions. From the color of your hull to how many people on board to your citizenship to your registration number. And at the end of it, he just says, have a good journey. Thanks for letting us gather all this information. And then we're on our way. So hopefully that means we don't need to be boarded in the future. I don't know. I've also been told that if you have AIS on, they'll call out to you because they can see you. And if you don't have AIS, you may not get that call. So we do have AIS. So
I think it's not a reason not to have AIS, but it was good that they reached out, and it's actually, I think it's good they can see us. So if something ever happened, they can find us.
I was never inferring that it's bad to have AIS. Yeah. It's just that because you have AIS, they can see you, and it's easier for them to see where you are and the speed you're going. But it was painless, easy. The ride was quite smooth, actually. In fact, I think it was smoother than the previous one. And the waves seemed to be better organized. And a previous boat did see whales, but we didn't see any. The chop that we saw coming into Sandy Hook was not bad, just a bit of wind. And now we're tied up and it's quiet.
It's calm in here.
Yeah, so now we need to figure out what we're going to do over the next couple of days. But one thing we won't be doing is worrying about going out into the Atlantic again.
We've done a lot of crossings, and the crossings are done.
They're done, and luckily the last 2 crossings were the best 2 crossings.
Yeah,
So
they were well
that's
planned.
good.
You did a good job planning them.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
A lot of good execution.
Yeah.